Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Rise Up and Share Your Medicine podcast. This is episode 110. So, my name is Lisa Espinosa. I am a spiritual career coach, and I help my clients, most of them who are wellness professionals, therapists, other coaches, body workers, teachers, but also just in any profession, but women who are really focused, have a longing to help others, to share their unique gifts, and to do it in a way that isn't overwhelming or depleting. And so, the way I teach my clients to do that is to connect with their soul's guidance, their soul's infinite capacity. And so, today we're going to talk about embodying your expertise energy. And this has been on the queue to be a podcast episode for some time now. It just kept getting replaced by other topics. But finally, today, everything aligned. So I want to talk about that, about what it is, what it isn't, why it's, I would say, essential on your path of service and leadership. So I looked up the definition of expert. I'm going to read it to you, what I found. It says someone who has comprehensive and authoritative knowledge or skill in a particular area. And so, from a spiritual perspective, when I'm talking about embodying your expertise energy, this is what I mean. It means that you recognize that you have had a lot of transformative events, what I often refer to as initiations, right? And you've experienced them, you've processed them, maybe by yourself, maybe with help from others, from your spiritual allies, from with help with therapists, coaches, whatever it was, and you've integrated those lessons and they have become wisdom. But not only that, like I think a lot of you have that, but then you embody that wisdom. You walk through the world with that awareness of the wisdom that you have. You see yourself as your soul sees you. Okay, that's what I'm calling your expertise energy. In spiritual terms, some people might call it your wise woman energy, your sage energy, your elder energy. And this has nothing to do with chronological age. Okay, now this concept can get very confusing. So I really want to talk about what it isn't. That's one of my favorite ways to teach. Is it's really helpful sometimes if you're trying to figure out something, you're like, well, I don't know, but I know what it's not. All right. So when I'm talking about embodying your expertise energy, I'm not talking about being narcissistic, having to know everything, arrogance, feeling that you're better than others. That's not what the expertise energy is. I know that there's people out in the world that can kind of put off that energy, but that's not what this is about. Right? What your expertise energy is, embodying it, really knowing that you're in that energy means that what I said before, I'm going to repeat it again, that you see yourself as your soul sees you. Your soul knows your life, knows everything you've gone through. In fact, your soul designed the curriculum of your life, right? I think that was episode 106 about your healing journey is your divine curriculum. So your soul literally set up those lessons and knew that as you went through them, that was going to be part of your medicine for the world. That was going to be part of your wisdom. That was going to be part of your expertise. But so many times I've experienced this myself, but I see this in my clients where their self-concept hasn't caught up with their expertise. So it's like they have this expertise, but they're like, no, 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 I don't have it. And this might be unconscious. And they go through the world still with the energy of novice, rookie, newbie, beginner. And again, we want to be very clear. In a sense, we're always beginners, right? In fact, in Buddhism, they often talk about being in the beginner's mind and how wise that is. So, of course, in one sense, we are always in beginner's mind. We're always learning. We're always expanding. So, being in your expertise energy doesn't mean, okay, I know everything, don't teach me anything else. That's not what it means. But it means to really have the courage to show up with the expertise that you do have, right? And so what happens when you don't embrace embody your expertise energy. So, a couple of things. One, it really leads to this ongoing insecurity, right? This prevalent self-doubt that can prevent you from really putting yourself out there, from really being in the spotlight of your soul, whatever the spotlight looks like for you. It can be in front of a camera, it can be behind a camera, it can be with large groups, with small groups, with individuals. So no worries about the details. But the point is that when we keep consciously or unconsciously, right, kind of like, no, I'm not an expert. No, I still have so much to learn. No, I'm still so new at this. No, I'm still behind. Clearly, I'm not that good. When we do that, that insecurity causes you to have these self-doubts that prevent you from expanding past your comfort zone, which your soul is always guiding you to do. The other thing that it leads to, which is, all these are connected, is comparison, right? Like comparing yourself to others and feeling like, oh, they're better, they know more, they're more ahead of me, I could never be like them, or oh, they're already doing that, nobody needs what I'm doing. All of that, again, comes from not embracing your expertise energy, right? And the other thing, I wrote some notes because I wanted to make sure that we got these. Jealousy, it's kind of a different face of it, but this feeling, whenever we experience jealousy, which is a very human emotion, right? So none of these, I'm not sharing any of this to call you out or be like, you're wrong if you do this. It's a human condition, but we are divine beings having a human experience. So when we talk about these, when we normalize them, we can decide, do I want to keep carrying that energy? And so jealousy also comes from that place, right? From feeling like, well, they have something I don't, right? As opposed to seeing how much wisdom, love, unique gifts you have that you're sharing with others. And the final thing I'll share about what it leads to, why it's when you don't embrace your expertise energy, it also can lead to this kind of like insatiable feeling like somebody else has the answers, somebody else has the ideas, somebody else will solve things for you, right? It's this almost like because you don't see yourself as the expert that you are, you're constantly feeling like you've got to go outside of yourself to fill yourself up, right? You have to, and it's, again, think about how much the world misses out on then, because you don't recognize, oh my gosh, wait, like we don't even make the space to see, I have all of these ideas. And maybe the truth is, everybody's ideas overlap with everybody else's ideas, right? I'm not the only teacher talking about following your soul's guidance, sharing your unique gifts. There's thousands and thousands, maybe millions of teachers in the world teaching about that. So it's not that, oh, I have an idea nobody else has ever thought of. But if for those of you who've been hearing me for a while now, but it comes through me in a different way than it comes through somebody else. Same for you, right? Your ideas, yes, ultimately might lead to the same truth as others, but they will be uniquely formed by you, by your experience, by your life, by your unique personality traits, by the unique imprint of your soul. So why is it essential? So why did this come up for me? And the reason was, this is something I'm constantly working on myself, but it's really come up in client sessions recently in the last, it's come up for years, but in the last few weeks, it's come up quite often. And I'm recognizing like, oh, there must be an up-leveling, right? As your soul, the divine mother, God, creator, creatrix, is inviting, no, I wouldn't even say inviting, is calling us. It's more like a alarm clock. That's what it feels like to me. It's like, wake up, wake up, wake up. See who you really are. Acknowledge the expertise you have. Acknowledge your pearls of wisdom. Realize how much you've experienced that can help others, that can help make their path easier, their path shorter. And so as I've seen this with clients who, might be thinking about, for example, teaching a new class or writing their next book, right? Or just showing up differently, even in their personal interactions, right? And catching like, oh, there's just still this old version of like, oh, I'm just beginning, or I'm just getting started, or I'm still learning so much. Like, oh, like it's this can show up like humility, which divine humility is an essential thing on our path, of course. But this type of humility comes from the ego structure that's telling you you're not enough, 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 you're not enough. You still need to get ready. You need more, you need more, you need more. And that's not coming from your soul. That's from the ego structure. So that type of humility is not helpful at all. It's also not arrogance. It's also not helpful. That's the other side of the coin. Well, I'm so much better. I know so much more. I need to go tell people what to do. I need to, I'm judging them because they're not where I'm at. That's a whole other thing, right? That's not what this is, right? So why is this essential? Right? Why does your soul want you to embrace this expertise energy? And I was really asking my soul this question, like, why is this so important? And it moves beyond, well, you feel better, right? When you embody your expertise energy, you feel better, right? You're calmer, you're more confident, you're more authentic. Your capacity to be vulnerable with your audience increases. And I'm talking about vulnerability as a beautiful thing, not weakness, but just not having that thought that I have to be perfect, right? All of those thoughts of like, I can't make a mistake. I have to be perfect. I can't let people see that I'm in pain. I have to show this image like everything's going perfectly in my life. All of that comes actually from the opposite of our expertise energy, right? It comes from feeling I'm not an expert. I actually don't have much to share. So I have to pretend, or I have to have this facade. So one reason to embrace your expertise energy is just that it's going to make you feel better. But there's underneath that, there's so many more important reasons. One, it takes a lot of energy when you're not embodying your expertise energy. Because what does it mean? It means you're kind of at war with yourself. You're battling yourself. You're battling your soul. Now, your soul's never at war with you. So your soul's not fighting you. But if you think, okay, your soul is looking at you and your soul sees you as, so capable and so powerful, and sees like, oh my gosh, look at everything you went through in your life. All the challenges of your childhood, all the challenges when you were a teenager, all your challenges as a young adult, all the work you've put in to overcome things, and all of that. Your soul sees that. Your soul sees your strength. Your soul's like, oh my gosh, you have so much to share with the world. There's so many people out there that can receive your help now. But you have your personality, your ego self has a different self concept. I'm not ready. Why am I so behind? What's wrong with me? Look at all those people. They're so ahead of me. And so that energy and your soul's vision of you don't match. And that takes up a lot of energy inside of you. In fact, I think this is the number one thing. One of the things I really coach my clients on is it's like getting out of our own way. It's our own insecurities, our own self-doubts, and all of the internal work that takes is energy we could be using just to be in service to the world. Like, think about that. Think if you were embodying your expertise energy fully, which again isn't about being narcissistic or arrogant or like you know everything, but you're in that expertise energy, so you trust yourself. You appreciate where you are in life right now. Yes, there will be more to learn, but you're not concerned with that. You're just really present with where you're at. You have so much love for yourself. You really feel your power, this beautiful power that has come from your experiences. Think about how much easier it is for your soul to work miracles through you, to send healing to the world through you. because your soul just sends it and it flows, as opposed to your soul sends it and you're like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. Oh, they're going to judge me. Oh, they're going to not like me. Oh, this is going to trigger them. Oh, I'm going to make a mistake. Oh, I don't sound perfect. And then it's like, we still have medicine, we still have miracles flowing through us, but it's so much more, it's just less impactful. So embodying your expertise energy is a gift, not only to yourself, but to the world. I mean, I often think that, like, if I didn't have to spend, and this is something I've been, and let me back up a little bit. Let me slow down. I have like 20 things I want to say at once. This is a practice. This is not something that, like, okay, I'm embodying my expertise energy. That's it. I'm done. Great. No, this is an ongoing practice. And as you practice that, so I've been practicing this for a while. It's still an ongoing practice. There's days that feels really easy. There's other days that I'm like, oh my gosh, it feels like I've gone backwards. But I haven't gone backwards. That's just often how the path feels. And so what I have come to recognize, I see this in myself and in my clients, that I've been coaching, that the more they start to embody their expertise energy, the more vitality they have, the more creative ideas they can access, the more magnetic they become to all of the people they're here to help and all the people that are here to help them. The more relaxed they feel, not relaxed from a place of like laziness, because I think sometimes we think, oh, well, if I'm really relaxed, I'm just going to become lazy. No, it's this relaxed from a place of trust and faith. The more daring they become, the bolder they are. And again, bold will look uniquely different to you. Bold to you might be, I'm going to say no to that person and stay home and read. I know that might be like, oh, that's not bold, but for some people that is boldness, because their life has been just saying yes, 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 yes to every request. And they're still saying, trust yourself. You can say no. And then create space so that I can talk to you, so that you can do what you're here to do. And so I want to talk about the steps. Came up with 5 of them. Like, how do you do this? How do you start this? Right? Hey, Katie, good morning. And so first step, I think this is always the first step. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know maybe what it is first step is you set the intention. You literally tell your soul, beautiful soul, I am willing. I want to embody my expertise energy with ease, with authenticity, right? With love, and you fill in whatever adjectives. So that's always the first step, right? Just your intention is so powerful. So if you hear nothing else and you're like, I forgot all the steps, just remember the first one. Oh, I know the first one. I have to set the intention. It's like I'm setting the desire, because remember, we have free will, which is a wonderful gift that sometimes feels like a curse, right? And it's like, why do I have to ask for that? Because you have free will. You're not a robot. God didn't create us to just do whatever God wants. And that has caused sometimes a lot of challenges, but it's ultimately a gift. So if you want to embody your expertise energy, then you have to set the intention, say, yes, I want this gift. Yes, I want to do this. I don't know how, but please, soul, help me. And then the second step is you are going to identify where in your life, and specifically in your leadership, in your service, in your creativity, but maybe it's also in your personal life, because one of the things that my coach often says, one of my coaches says, is like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're holding back in your career, there's probably areas in your personal life that you're holding back in. If you're holding back in your personal life, there's probably things in your career that you're holding back on. That's why when I coach my clients, it's a holistic process. It's not like, only talk to me about your career, don't tell me anything else. No, it's like whatever has shown up is important. And so what for step 2 is you're going to identify, where am I showing up as a newbie, as a novice? Now, there might be areas where it makes total sense, right? So if you started taking a class on something and you literally are new at it, well, that's beautiful. You're a beginner at it. Embrace it. That's beautiful. That's not what we're talking about. It's like, where in your life are you stuck in that novice energy, rookie energy, not knowing enough energy, still have to prove myself energy? So identify that. And the reason step one comes first is not only because you have to set the intention, but because you're asking your soul to help you. And your soul is not judging you. So when you get to step two, the point isn't like, oh gosh, now I realize I've been showing up like a novice in my career. What an idiot. Oh my gosh. Like, no, that's a part of you that's saying that. Your soul's like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. I totally understand. Let me help you. So that's going to be step two. Identify where is that showing up in your life. And it can be very surprising. I know I have clients who are so, what is the word I'm looking for? They are such experts at things. They have so much knowledge. They show up in the world with authority. People see them that way. And yet there's some area of their life where this is really impacting them. It might even be in the area where people see them with authority, but they're not seeing themselves like that. And so let yourself have an open mind. And I'll do like a little journey at the end to kind of tap into this. Now, once you identify, so let's say you realize, you know what, I realize that I'm really still showing up to my client sessions somewhat like as a novice. Maybe not as like a first year, but I'm still showing up like, for example, I have a lot of clients who are therapists. And let's say you've been a therapist for 15 years. And when you do this exercise, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm kind of operating as if I'm in my fifth year of being a therapist. Like some of my parts are just stuck in that self-concept. And again, you're not going to judge it. You're just going to be like, oh, wow. Thank you, soul, for showing me this. And step three is you identify what are the thoughts that keep you there. In other words, what are the thoughts that part of you is thinking? Might be like, oh, I still have so much to learn. I hope I can help them. I hope I don't make a mistake. Oh, I've got to really work hard. And all those might sound like lovely thoughts, but they're actually thoughts that keep you stuck. So you're going to identify, or maybe you have a thought like, oh, I'm not ready for more clients, or I'm not ready for like those type of clients yet. I still have to have more experience in this way. Now, sometimes that is wisdom, but often it's just an old self-concept that's operating. And then the final step is, now that you know where you're operating in that novice energy, what those thoughts are that are keeping you spinning in that, now you're going to identify the new thoughts. Oh, what are the thoughts that your soul is saying instead for you to think? Because you can choose your thoughts. That's one of our biggest powers. So if your dominant thought as a novice is, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. You don't even know it's there. It's like a mantra in your head. And you identify that. And you're like, oh. And your soul's like, actually, you are so ready. So maybe that's the thought. I'm ready. I'm ready to share more of my wisdom. I have so much to offer right now. I have so much I can share right now. I already can help so many people. Like if you catch yourself that you have thoughts of like, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to help people, but I need to get more training, or but I need to get my life in order, but I need to, just check. Is that wisdom coming from your soul, or is it an old self-concept? And then practice the new thoughts. And again, this is something I coach my clients in. What does it look like to practice a thought? How do you do that? There are actual steps to that. And I can teach you that. And by the way, I know some of you, I had some emails about that this morning. I am opening more breakthrough consults for December. That's the free 1-hour consultation where we will meet over Zoom And I will ask you, there's a safe space, no judgment, and I will ask you some clarifying questions to help you identify. Maybe it's identify what thoughts are keeping you in this novice energy or where you're feeling stuck. Get clarity and then offer you this simple solution. Like, this is the solution. And then if I feel I can help you more, I'll also share the details of my coaching program. So I've been doing lots of consults, and I just hadn't had time to open my December consults yet, but I will do that. I'll try to do that by today, if not for sure by Friday, because I've just been waiting on a couple of things to settle in my schedule. So you can schedule a consult. This is such a perfect time at the end of the year, right? Think about in 2025, what if that's part of your intention is like in 2025, I want to show up in my expertise energy more from a place of love and service, not from arrogance, not from perfectionism, not from narcissism. That's not what this is about. But because I want to be the pillar of light that I'm here to be. And so I want to do a little inner journey. Oh, I don't think I finished. Let me give you the last step is that you're going to envision, and I'll recap these really quickly. You're going to envision, how do you act in your expertise energy? What do you say? What do you wear? How do you make decisions? How do you respond when things go well? How do you respond when you quote unquote make a mistake? Like, really think about it. When you're in your expertise energy, like, that's how you step into it. Like, really envision, connect with that version of you already. Okay, so to recap the 5 steps, I'm just looking to make sure I don't miss any. 1, you're going to set the intention. Beautiful soul, I am ready. I am willing. Yes, help me to step into my expertise energy so that I can serve more people, so that I can lead more, so that I can create more with ease, with love, with joy. You choose whatever adjectives. 2, you're going to identify what area of my life, where am I showing up in novice energy, where I'm really meant to show up in my expert energy. 3, you're going to identify what are the thoughts that keep me there. Maybe you just identify one, but often when you ask this question, you can just journal, like write a bunch of them on the paper. And then 4, you're going to identify, okay, now I identified the thoughts that keep me stuck in that old self-concept. Now I get to choose what are the thoughts that help me step into this expertise energy. And then step 5 is embody. Imagine yourself, have your soul show you how you walk through the world in that energy. So we'll just do a very short, just bring your hands to your heart. Feel the earth underneath you. And if you want to set that intention, say, beautiful soul, I'm willing to show up in my expertise energy. Show me. And now we're just going to ask that question, beautiful soul, show me what area of my life, where in my career or in my life, am I still showing up as a novice when you are guiding me to show up as the expert that I am? Where you are saying, see yourself as I see you. And receive an image, a word, a sentence, a message from your soul in your heart. Remember, your soul always answers you, even if you don't hear it right now. Just imagine your heart filling with light that represents these answers that your soul is giving you. Where am I still showing up as a novice? Where are you guiding me to show up as the expert that I am? And with that, we bring the palms of our hands together and we bow to each other and our own heart. And we end this journey with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. And so I remind you, you can watch the replay and go through all the steps, right? Also want to remind you, on Sunday, December 1st, is the 10th annual Guadalupe Gathering. I have been doing this for 10 years now. The first, I have to go back and look, maybe 4 years, 5 years, I don't know. The first several years, it was in person, back when I lived in Chicago in my beautiful home. it was the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe is actually December 12th. And I usually try to have the gathering very close to that date. But this year, my first grandchild shall be born. My daughter is pregnant, and her baby is due in December. And I'm on baby duty because I will be there with her during the delivery of her baby. So, and her baby's due December 13th. So I was like, I don't know if I want to risk it. So I'm going to do it December 1st. And please let me be clear. This is not a religious gathering. This is all spiritual paths are welcome. Our Lady of Guadalupe is an aspect of the Divine Mother that is here to help us, to support us, to be our mentor, our ally. And the theme for this year is be the pillar of light the world needs you to be. And so I'm going to be leading meditations with Our Lady of Guadalupe. I'm going to be guiding you to receive healing and energy so you can release whatever baggage, burdens, unnecessary thoughts are in the way that the Divine Mother is saying, like, you don't need to take these to 2025. I'm also going to do a special meditation for you to receive your word of the year for 2025. My word of this year, 2024, was wellspring. And so what word or mantra, Guadalupe said this time, maybe there's a mantra you're going to get for 2025. And it's just going to be an amazing ceremony on Sunday, December 1st. It's a free offering. It's always been a free offering. And you will receive the replay. And there was another thing I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. It was at 3:00 Central, 90 minutes. I might go over a little bit. I'll be pulling some oracle cards. So I hope to see you there. Let people know. So I'm just going to pull one oracle card, and then we will be done. I'll put the link to register in the comments. I'll put the link for my mailing list if you want to sign up for that. That's the best way to stay on top of all the events, everything that's happening. I'm still planning on sharing a lot in December, but a lot of it's going to be kind of impromptu. So you want to make sure you're on my newsletter and you're like getting the invitations. Then I will also put the link for my breakthrough consult in case you want to schedule one for December. I would love to talk to you. And then I'll put the link for the Guadalupe gathering. Okay. So this is from the Wild Woman Rising deck. And let's see, what is the message for you from your soul about embodying your expertise energy? Okay. Number 4, restore balance. Look at her. Look at this beautiful woman. Look at that porcupine on the crown of her head. Porcupines are amazing, and their medicine is all about boundaries. And so to me, this is like restore balance. Come back into your expertise energy. When we're in that novice energy, there's a beautiful thing about being a novice, right? We do a lot. We try a lot of things. I remember when I first left my previous career as a middle school teacher, and I started doing Reiki energy healing sessions. I was a novice at it. Now, later, I realized I had done this in other lifetimes, but in that moment, I was a novice. And so I did anything that came my way. Oh, you want me to go do Reiki in your house? Sure, I'll go do that. Oh, go do Reiki at a school for teachers during their, professional development day? Absolutely, I'll go do that. Oh, go do Reiki over here, go do Reiki over there, do free Reiki sessions. There was a lot that I did because I was trying to get experience. I was trying to meet people and connect with people. And that was absolutely part of what I needed to do. And there was a lot of energy output. And then there came a point where I had to realize, okay, wait, this is not sustainable anymore. I've got to set more boundaries. Like I know more now. And so this, with the porcupine on her head and her beautiful white hair, right, representing expertise energy, it's like, oh, I don't need to do that anymore. Not from a place of arrogance. That's where people get mistaken. Like, oh, now she thinks she's so too good for this. No, it's because now you realize, wait, I have so much knowledge. I have so much mastery. I have so much expertise. I need to be very clear so that I can help more people, not less. Can you imagine if I had stayed doing that? I mean, I would have burned out and I wouldn't have been doing any of this. I would have helped no one after that. Right? Like setting the boundaries allowed me to actually help more people. So really check, where do you need to restore balance? Right? And again, remember that your soul is telling you all this with so much love. If you catch yourself beating yourself up, judging yourself, remember, wait, that's not my soul. That's just a part. I'm going to send that part love. All right. For those of you who are in the United States, I'm wishing you so many blessings in this holiday week. I'm in Mexico now, so it's a little odd. Like I keep forgetting, like, oh, that's right. It's a holiday in the US. But sending you so much love, so many blessings. And I look forward to seeing you next week. No, actually, next week I will be flying. I will be on a plane on Wednesday on my way to Colorado to visit my daughter who's going to have her baby. So we will resume. I will see if I can do the podcast episode 111 before Wednesday. If not, we'll resume the week after. But again, just sign up for my newsletter and I'll give you all the details. But either way, on Sunday, December 1st, this Sunday, I hope to see you for Our Lady of Guadalupe gathering. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. All right, bye.